Well, Congressman, I do want to ask you about China. Like you said, the Olympics have just wrapped up in Beijing. It was a ratings disaster by all accounts so far, but it did seem to shine the light on one thing in particular, and that is the layers and layers of corporations, large American corporations, that seem to have aligned themselves with the values of the Chinese Communist Party. Is it a concern that some of these largest multinational companies in the world can be influenced by China?
It's a tremendous concern that I have, and I think all Americans should have. You know, you see some companies that tout all this social justice here in the United States, but they certainly turn their eye towards it in China, and it's all about money. It's all about money. There's no patriotism involved with these, especially these companies that are American born and bred, that they became large because they were in America and they were free to innovate and to develop and grow. And then I think, you know, a real example right now that's of great concern is what you see with the NBA. Apparently the NBA makes quite a bit of money by having them seen in China. And so if you say anything about China and you're in the NBA, you're going to get squashed. And there's no greater example than that, than Enes Kanter Freedom. He took the name Freedom because he was becoming U.S. citizen. And when he spoke up and he said, put on his shoes at one time, free Tibet, he's now been traded and then cut and out of the NBA. But you know what? There is a guy, a new American, that is willing to stand up and say what's going on in this country is wrong. And as the United States of America, which really has been an exceptional country on this planet, should not be aiding and abetting a country that does so many of the things that they do. It should have been called the genocide games and the propaganda that goes with them. I mean, this is a country that does forced sterilizations, forced abortions, has labor camps. The human rights violations go on and on.
Now, Congressman, you've introduced some bipartisan legislation with your Democratic colleague Raja Krishnamoorthi, which highlights the Chinese investments in infrastructure in ports around the globe. Tell us why you think this is important.
Well, it's their chance to expand themselves militarily. They go into countries and they say, we'd like to build a port for you, and you can use it for your fishing industry or what have you. Well, the next thing you know, it's based on military assets. We can pull a carrier up here. Or if you just look in Djibouti, where we have had a base there for several years, China is now right next door to us with a base of their own. They are trying to get dominance around the world, and especially starting in their region. But this is dangerous for us, as it gives them a tremendous enhancement militarily. And also then they hold those countries hostage once they've made the investment there. And that's something that they've been doing for some time. And we really haven't said much about it. Australia gets it because they're over in that neck of the woods, and they're trying to do everything they can to slow that type of breezing down. Their One Belt, One Road initiative of China is really to be one belt, one world that they dominate in. And that's a problem. But, you know, you asked about the ports. That is another opportunity for them to have more domination and influence around the world.
Congressman Brad Wenstrup, thank you.
Thank you.